They built a fancy gazebo right over my family's water well and called it community property. What I did next made the entire HOA beg for forgiveness. When my father passed away, the only thing he left me was this land. 5 acres of dry, cracked soil with a single old well in the middle. That well had been our lifeline for generations. I used it to water the crops, fill the animals' troughs, and even supply water to a few nearby homes during droughts. But then the new HOA president, Karen Whitmore, came into power. She didn't care about history, legacy, or respect. All she saw was an empty space she could turn into a community attraction. One morning, I walked out to find construction workers digging posts right over my well. Confused, I asked, "What are you doing on my property?" The foreman replied, "HOA orders. They're building a new gazebo here." I nearly dropped my coffee. "That's my well. That's my water." Karen smirked and said, "Not anymore. It's part of the shared community space now. You can use our water like everyone else." The arrogance in her tone burned through me. But instead of yelling, I smiled and walked away quietly. She had no idea that I still owned the rights to that well, legally and fully. A week later, the HOA held a fancy ribbon-cutting ceremony. Residents gathered, snapping photos, laughing under that shiny new gazebo. Kids played while sprinklers sprayed cool water from my well. That night, I drove to the control shed, turned off the main valve, and locked it. Within hours, the sprinklers sputtered out. Fountains stopped, and even the clubhouse bathrooms went dry. By morning, chaos broke out. Karen stormed over, shouting, "You can't do this! The entire community's water is gone." I looked her dead in the eye and said, "No, your water is gone. Mine is right where it's always been." She threatened legal action. So I pulled out a folder. The original land deed and, well, permit signed by the county decades ago. It proved I owned the entire underground water system, and the HOA had trespassed. The courtroom was silent when the judge read the documents. Then she looked up and said, "Mrs. Whitmore, you built your gazebo on private property. The well, the land, and the water all belong to Mr. Carter. You owe him for damages and unauthorized use." Karen's smug face drained faster than the sprinklers that morning. The HOA had to remove the gazebo, pay for repairs, and issue a public apology. Now, when I sit beside that old well, I smile, not out of revenge, but because my father's legacy stood tall against greed. So remember, don't let anyone take what's rightfully yours, even if they wear a fancy badge or call it community property. And hey, if this story moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe.